You've been hitting gym. Nah, man, just ball like little here and there. You get me, little. No one's there. Little, don't even on the gym thing too much. Just you get me every now and again, little push ups and that. Come on, man. Trust, I didn't see that. Bit harsh to say Tavares should never play. We listen. Tavares might have been terrible, but okay, cool. Remove Tavares' performance. Who played well today? Is Tavares the only reason we didn't get 3 points? Let's not listen. One thing I'm not a fan of, yeah, is of listen. Let's make some timestamps as well. This is one thing I hate about Arsenal fans, yeah, because it's gonna start now. Like, obviously, top four has taken a hit. You know, seeing what's happened to Chelsea, seeing Spurs win, seeing United drop points, West Ham taking points, clearly even Wolves getting a draw, against Villa. Clearly it's taking a hit. But the same ones that were moving like it's a foregone conclusion to Arsenal to finish in the top four, they're going to drop out a hat. Our top four hopes, for me, are faint hopes, regardless of what's been happening, is taking a hit. If you're Spurs, you're laughing. If you're United, despite the fact you're still 3 points behind, Arsenal haven't, point games in hand, as we were saying when it wasn't us, needs to correlate, it needs to correlate to points. So it has taken a bit of pill to swallow. We've got 9 games left. We've got hella injuries now. For me, I need to hear what's going on with Partey, Tierney, Tomiyasu. We've taken injuries at the worst time. We're bottling at the worst time. The games aren't getting any easier. We've got another bogey team in Brighton. Again, Palace hadn't won at home in 2022. You knew what time it was. So everything's gone wrong today. Everything's gone wrong. It's a reality check. It's a wake-up call. We've been on cloud nine as a whole football club. As much as I've tried to preach that, we've got to take it game by game and actually mean that. It's a reality, though. So everything went wrong. You lost 3-0 away from home. Everything went wrong. And still, Crystal Palace have dirtier kits than you. Not that I want to take it there, but they looked upset when they won. They didn't. They looked hungry for more goals. They scored a first goal and looked like they were the ones, a goal down. Everything. We're going to go into it, but everything went wrong. You all saw it. Everything that could have went wrong today did go wrong. Simple as that. It's a reality check. It's a wake-up call. It's a wake-up call. If anybody collectively thinks they're better than they are, if anyone thinks we've achieved anything, for the manager, maybe you believe in a couple of players too much. Maybe things need a shake-up, not to be reactionary. We know we're a very naive team, and hindsight's a wonderful thing. Everything was wrong, from 5-yard passes to individual battles to looking extremely disjointed as a team, to everything. The goals just magnify those 3 goals we conceded. Losing the ball with Partey for the third one, ultimately ending up with Odegaard conceding a penalty. This first one where we've gone to sleep from the set piece. The second goal where we've lost the ball again. Xhaka, Lacazette way too easy. Gabriel and Tavares haven't done any better. Everyone was terrible today. This is a wake-up call. It's a bitter pill to swallow. It's another game where you've choked away from home. As I said, this had many similarities for me with the Brighton away fixture because we didn't turn up. Palace are a great team, fantastic team, did everything that we should have done, deserve all their praise. We couldn't have lost to a better team, really and truly. Big up Patrick Vieira for the greater good of the agendas. Make sure you win the FA Cup and return that favour. But everything that they did, we didn't. We didn't turn up today. It's like we thought things were happening. Maybe Arteta could have went with a back three with Tierney being out, but it is what it is, people. Everything that could have went wrong. So wake up call. If your rivals, you're laughing, but it's our day. Spurs were nowhere near fourth. They won a couple of games on the spin. They're there. It's our day to hold our L's. I'm not saying we're going to get fourth a day. On my point, as I keep saying, everybody's in for a fight, which is why dropping points like this is an issue. This game highlights what we knew in January and is a conversation we're going to have in May. We've got no forwards. Everything was wrong. Everything. So it's not just a strikers thing. But you saw in the second half when we half looked like a football team. Yes, 2 goals down, even though we lost the second half 1-0 technically. 2 goals down. But as you know, goals change games. Smith Rowe, last couple of games, he's not really been clinical. But all right, cool, he's still developing. Smith Rowe, Lacazette, whenever he's had opportunities, the half chances, they go in, something happens. We need a striker. We need someone that can create their own things. We need a number 8. There's no midfield there. We need better squad depth, but this is where we're at as a team. So it is what it is, man. Everything went wrong, innit? Like, everything that could have went wrong today did go wrong. And it's a wake-up call. As I said, the thing that's disappointing for me is, listen, Crystal Palace, credit to you. We have no divine right to get top four. We have no divine right to win everything, win anything or achieve anything. But the minimum is turning up. We didn't turn up today. We didn't earn the right to play. I never saw fullbacks that wanted to win their battles. Defenders the same, keepers the same, strikers the same. Palace all over the field. You can't pick a man of the match for Crystal Palace. You could sit there and say Mitchell done his thing. You could sit there and say even Klein had done his thing. You could sit there and say, well, you know, only Guita because he had nothing to do really. Yeah, Eddie's come and hit the crossbar, but what's he done? You could say Anderson, you could say Gurhey. You'd probably more. I'd give it Zaha, tearing us a new one, reminding people what he's on. We showed a lack of that. We showed naivety. We've conceded those goals, those 2 goals within like 7 minutes. And just before that, we were having, you know, we were catching life. Why go 2 goals down? Need Arteta to come and chat to you at halftime to start looking like a football team. And for Arteta, I'm not gonna lie, there was potential for the players. That is naiveties because as much as I said it at the start of this live stream, scroll back. Tavares isn't someone you trust away from home because of things like this. But he's thrown to the wolves. He's on his J's. What experienced players could he look to the left and right of? Everyone was looking at someone else to pass the responsibility. I'm not going to turn on everyone. Partey, you were shit today. Martin Odegaard, that, you know, the penalty is not even the worst thing. He was anonymous. You know, Saka tried a thing, but it was dead. Smith Rowe, you tried a thing, but it was dead. Martinelli, you offered something, but it was dead. You know, Lacazette, you was quite poor today. Gabriel, shambolic. Ben White, not with it. Tavares, not ready. You know, Cedric, embarrassing, but you didn't get back in the second half. Man to a man. Terrible. Lokonga's come off the bench and just passed the ball 5 yards and just looked like a decent footballer. He's done better than a lot of men. Eddie's done better than a lot of men. Martinelli's done better than a lot of men. So the subs have probably been 3 of the best players, if not the best players. So what does that say then? All we can do is go again. Reality is it's happened now. You know, not only have you dropped points, but you're fucking up the goal difference. Now Spurs are laughing even more now because they slapped some against Newcastle. But hey, bloody hell, Vieira, you could have allowed us though. You know, you former Arsenal man as well. Worked at City Group. Just like Pep gave the Ops the double, no one seems to be rating our thing, but we move, you know. A result like this is sobering, it's disappointing, but all we can do is move, you know. Fortunately, the games are coming thick and fast. There's no time to feel sorry for ourselves, bro. Have you seen the fixture list? I told you, man, about Crystal Palace away. Just like I spoke about Brighton. Shout out to Palace for getting 4 points of us. Just like I tell you a lot about Brighton and Southampton. And you all know the 3 games after that Man United, West Ham, and Chelsea in no order. You can't feel sorry for yourselves. You want top 4, now the pressure's on. What, you thought you were just going to win every game, everyone else was going to drop points, and we're just going to get into May in some la-la land? Football's not like that. Like life is beautiful. It's beautiful when someone's an underdog and they get something. We all love an underdog story. We all do. But life isn't pretty. Like, no one is going to give us anything. And we didn't fight. We didn't look like a team that really, you know, we're getting top 4. Palace sat there and said, well, you're taking these points over our dead body. These man weren't on nothing today. I'm not going to turn on no one. I'm still Odegaard FC, but you've been meaty in your last few games. Partey, you're still my guy. You were meaty. And even my guy, Mikel Arteta, I rate your thing, but you showed naiveties today. I'm not going to sit and advocate for a back 3, but in hindsight, it looks like that. You're the manager. You know, should you have went with a back 3 to protect Tavares? Why, when we've gone 2 goals down, is Xhaka playing more of a withdrawn role and he's flying up there and doing his number 8 thing? You know, Lacazette, I'm sorry, but this dropping deep thing isn't going to cut it. We know we haven't got a number 8, so naturally our players are going to drop deep. But in a game like that, they back themselves. Lacazette doesn't get in the box, and when he does, it's meaty. He drops into midfield, and as I keep saying, that encourages teams to stay further forward. The minute Martinelli and to a degree Eddie are on the field and we're looking better, Mitchell and my man are having to defend. Shout out to Palace because by then it's too late. Ultimately, you know, it's outworked, out-muscled, out-hustled, out-bustled. Them man were working on something. Shout out to them. Shout out to Crystal Palace. You lot have to go again. Right, it's as simple as that. You lot have to go again because that was embarrassing. You lot... One good performance don't define you. You know, reality is you have been on a half-decent run. Let's not be reactionary, but it's a wake-up call because these warning signs have been there, but nobody wants to talk about these things. A lot of Arsenal fans fail to understand that multiple truths can live in the same realm because they've been there. Away from home, there were shaky moments against Villa, against Leicester, against Watford. You know, this was probably our most terrible away performance for me since Everton, but there's similarities with not just this game, but United away as well. We're not following runners. We're playing stupid games and surprise we're winning stupid prizes. The first goal for a team that's done better in set pieces, what we doing? You know you have to win the first and second balls. And I would say the root cause of them first goals, we're not getting close to a man. Xhaka Lacazette for I can't even remember if it was the first or second. That was the second. It's not good enough. The penalty, what part are we doing? If Partey's injured, why is he not coming off before that? Before Odegaard's actually giving away the penalty, why isn't a man coming off? He's clearly not the guy for the tug games like that. As much as I'm with Odegaard, when it's them nitty-gritty games, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know, as I said with Man United, to look at Ferguson, you might not see Park Ji-sung in certain games, but when it needed to be, just slugging through it and certain things needed to go down, come into the squad. Tavares right now is someone, I know we're kind of forced against it. Maybe Saka could have went wing back, or Xhaka could have done it. You know, maybe Holding could have played in the back three, and that gives Tavares a bit more. You've got Holding on the left-hand side of the centre-half pairing, Xhaka in the withdrawn role, and by all means, Tavares fly forward, didn't it? You know, we're not that team to do those things yet, but certain players are guys like Tavares. Tavares is a guy who gets a low block at home. You know, a team that's actively trying to play football against us and break and, you know, riding off the energy that their fans are giving them. That's all a myth. It's a big myth. We deserved what we got. Reality check. Because sometimes we've got away with, we've not played that bad, but we've done shaky things and not been reminded. You know, and for Arsenal fans, boy, you can laugh at United, you can laugh at Chelsea, you have to hold your licks. Laugh at Spurs, you have to hold your licks. It's worrying. If you're Conte, you're laughing right now. If you're United, you're thinking, yo, let's pattern up. If you're West Ham, you're thinking Europa League and domestic fourth is still on. If you're even Wolves, you've got an outside chance. If you're Arsenal, boy, I wouldn't even say you've got a target on your back because you're not in pole position. And the whole footballing world, we're moving like Arsenal or assurance to get through. Suddenly it's going to change now, such as the shamelessness. Get back on it. Don't listen to what's being said. If you listen to the media at the beginning, you wouldn't be in this conversation. If you listen to them now, you will keep performing how you did. Get back on it. You needed 6 points this week. To me, my faith is I've not really believed in top four per se anyways, as you lot know. But it's kind of taken a blow. But it's a 9-game showdown. And again, I guess for the neutrals, it makes it a lot more interesting. But what more can you say, people, man? Lads, play stupid games with stupid prizes, man. Everything was terrible today. And for play and respectfully, I don't think anybody's arrogant. But if certain players think they're better than they are, if the manager thinks certain players are better than they are, if we feel we've achieved certain things or moved to a level or advanced this process quicker than we've not, things like that are what defines. Because it's games like that that define if you get top four. It's games like that that decide if you're winning league titles and progressing in Europe and things. It's not all, the sun's always not going to shine at the Emirates, you know. It's not always going to be this, you know, where we're always going to come from. Man, football isn't